I'll start this out. Welcome back. Get the Goods Podcast 2026, episode 48. We almost at the 50.
We
might have to do something special.
I know. We got to pop champagne or something. Or drink tea. We can do something different.
Pop champagne like Zoran? We're going to pop champagne. They're playing that at his party?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Look. So, we got a really dope show today. But first, let's do a quick check-in. How you feeling?
You know, today was could be better. I feel like, well, today I did an interview on This Is Nashville. You know, shout out to them for having us on, and we miss Khalil.
And do.
We miss Khalil. Khalil, we miss you, my brother.
We miss you.
But man, I was on there with he called himself a small C conservative. I can't remember what bruh name was.
Yeah. I wouldn't say bruh.
Yeah. I can't remember what that person's name was. Caucasian man. And it was interesting because as soon as I walked into the room, I felt the energy. The energy was weird. You could tell that it was kind of like a I'm better than you type of like temperature in the air. Mm-hmm. So
just like go ahead.
And I'm normally not in that close of proximity to them types of people.
Yeah.
So I think it's been kind of like messing with my energy all day.
Yeah. What would help you kind of be able to release it?
Somatics. Hopefully we don't get too much ice. I can hit the boxing gym tomorrow. And we'll be all good.
Get it off of you. Yeah. Movement usually does kind of like help me move through things that I both need to want to process, but I'm like, I need to get past this. Right. I can't hold on to this.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
How your day been?
I feel like it's just been like go. Like 100%. One place to another, one meeting to another. But yeah, it's been good. I'm happy to be in conversation with you. And look, I mean, 2026 has started off, it's feeling like 2025.2, but times like 30. And so we like, yo, like
0.2 times 30.
Are we in hell? What the hell is going on?
We might be.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, it feel a little bit like that. And it's like, I'm being stretched to be like, how do I get close to the heaven?
Yeah.
But first, like, what are the signs that we in hell?
What are the signs? The signs that we in hell, well, first we got to get out of hell.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a list.
We got to, first the signs is we in it. Just real quick, the signs that we in hell is what?
The signs that we in hell, the current climate of
feels like World War III is like we're
global
on the edge
politics.
On it.
Yeah, like the current climate of like countries, continents going to war.
Yeah,
seems pretty inevitable at this point.
Yeah, even like the way that we've seen mammals and animals like experience the climate crisis, another sign, right? I think the way we've been seeing people be treated deeply inhumanely, like the way that I've seen folks turn their head and not really acknowledge genocide. I'm like, oh, are we in hell? Are we praying to the same God and you ain't acknowledge?
We not praying to the same
genocide?
God. Like when we praying to God, we praying to like a being that is loving and kind and caring and wants you to be well.
Stretches out and I want to see you,
Yeah, they praying to the God of
Gucci and Mercedes.
Wells Fargo. Like, I don't know, it's like the God of something else. I'm like, bro, what are y'all
The God of capitalism. And so I got to get out of this.
Praying to Kratos. They praying to the God of war. I don't know why. I don't think
so. Not all of them. Because then there would be a war over some stuff.
I mean, are we not at war?
Okay.
There's a difference in war and genocide too, but
no, I'm not. What I'm saying about there are some people who are praying who are like, I'm actively, because I think at this point to actively ignore what's going on in Minnesota, what's going on in Sudan, Congo, Cuba, Gaza is like, I feel like you have to actively do that. And if you don't, I'm like, dang, we got a lot of work to do to make sure people can see that. And I understand that like folks it's really, really hard right now. So it's easy to miss some things. But there are institutions like churches that are actually like not acknowledging it. I'm like, oh, like I feel like you gotta actively do. That's an active choice. Yeah. For institutions to do that. So
the Kratos bar was a PlayStation joke. Eugene gets it.
But my bad. Circle back. I don't know what. Who is that? Yeah.
It's okay. It's a game called God of War. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
I'm really thinking about I was like, I don't know all the Greek gods because when you in school, stuff that's not gonna be relevant. That was stuff I was like, I'm not interested in that. It didn't feel black and didn't feel like it was gonna hold me. So I didn't know if it was that. So
got you.
We gotta get out of hell.
We do.
Free us. How are we gonna get us out of hell, Mike?
Okay. Hold on. Get me out of hell. People think one battle after another was about being revolutionary when really it was really about rats, goofies, and weirdo white men who block revolution on both sides. Get me out of hell.
Get me out of hell, because that woman won a Golden Globe for doing displaying black motherhood and black revolutionaries in an extremely harmful and scary place. Get me out of hell. Mm-hmm.
Get me out of hell. The Democratic Party voted to give $3.3 billion to Israel, but y'all keep telling me to vote because it's the most important time to vote in my life. Get me out of hell.
Get me out of hell. They went all the way wrong. But, yeah, no money should go to genocide. Yeah, let's stop sending money to Israel. They wouldn't lie. Get me out of hell, though. Everybody's circling back. And I'm like, I'm not going to hold you. Next year, I'm not taking meetings till March. Get me out of hell.
Get me out of hell. Ever since filters dropped and y'all started talking about 2016, all of y'all photos are revisionist history. Get me out of hell.
Ooh, even yours?
I say y'all.
Okay, self-reflection. Get me out of hell. The people around me won't change, and it's becoming very difficult to change. How I'm supposed to be chill when people remain in bitch-ass activity.
Get me out of hell. Black Christians are more vocal about the Drewski skit than the genocide in Palestine. Get me out of hell.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, get me out of hell. These men will refuse to take accountability.
Get me out of hell. Ever since my church showed the crucifixion scene from the Passion of the Christ every first Sunday that made us take communion, I haven't been able to drink cranberry juice without feeling like I need to repent. Get me out of hell.
No. Free my brother Mike. Get me out of hell. These folks don't read, but swear they religious leaders. Get me out of hell.
Get me out of hell. Them GLP-1 ads keep running like we don't know that they're trying to kill us. Get me out of hell.
Oh my gosh, get me out of hell. Some of y'all friends, our people, let me see. Some of these men think they supposed to be head of household, but ain't led nothing. How? You can't lead a squirrel to a nut. Can't lead a bee to honey. Can't lead an ant to sugar. This obsession with head of household, get me out of hell. My God, the year 2026, I need to be out of the hell.
Get me out of hell. Every time Vic Mensa rip an orange off of that tree, he get 2 shades lighter. Get me out of hell.
Ooh, okay. This for real, though. It's get me out of hell. Mm-hmm. They reading Lenin. Some of them reading the Bible. Mm-hmm. They reading Marx, and they still misogynistic. Well, get me out of hell. Free and us. They free us. Get me out of hell. But I got something though.
Come on.
Cause I'm like, I feel I'm on my way out of here. I already decided. I'm fighting. Peace to if you're really willing to fight for it. I'm not about to stay in hell with these folks. I'm a shift the conditions around me. And probably have to do both at the same time. So, welcome to heaven. What's got me believing again? Okay? Because we on the path to freedom. And y'all, I will not exist in this hell with folks. Because, one, I believe in our capacity to transform. And so, while some folks I've seen experience lack of accountability in some ways, what I do believe is our capacity to transform. I'm also really grateful for the men's circle. I cannot wait for their report back at the summit in February. Like, I am like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear like folks' experiences about it. Welcome to our own version of heaven. Thank you so much for womanist theology.
Okay.
And for Black queer feminism.
Okay.
That is getting. If we read it, if we studied it, y'all, I promise we would get out of hell, y'all. If we just studied June Jordan, y'all, we might know a little bit more.
Maybe read Charlene Carruthers, Unapologetic.
Yeah, we read it together. Get me out of hell. Shout out to the folks who are sharing the work, who are like, it is circle back season, but we gonna share these meetings. We gonna follow up together, okay? Welcome me to heaven. My gosh, this is the thing that's been keeping me. Smoothie bowls.
Oh, nah, for real. Vic Mensa might actually be right. The fruit will save us.
The smoothie bowls are really keeping me. And the wellness shots. Because, it's so much like flu, COVID, colds. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Mm-hmm. So, now, the news.
Can I give a welcome to heaven?
Please.
Take me to heaven.
Yeah.
In my heaven, okay, we're going to do what's in our personal heaven.
Yeah.
In my heaven, there are smoothie bowls. Infinite, abundant. Look, they grow on trees.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm on Vic Mensa so much. All right. In my personal heaven, people are incapable of talking about things and preaching things that they do not live. It can't happen.
But so much is aspirational. Like, I preach about stuff and I live in contradictions.
We talking about heaven.
That don't feel kind of boring to you?
To where you can't speak on it if you don't mean it? You got to say what you mean.
I can say what I mean, but still be like, I'm trying to live this out, though.
So frame it that way.
Okay. So I can't be like, I am the most revolutionary. Yeah. I don't spend money on nothing.
I can't be telling you to take care of your kids and I don't take care of my kids. That's what I mean.
Oh, we be into this about that. So yeah. Okay.
Okay, in my heaven, there's no domestic violence.
No, we ain't even got to go.
Okay?
I wouldn't
in my
even
heaven, there's no substance abuse.
Yeah, okay.
And people take care of their kids.
Okay, big. What else?
In my personal heaven, there's no spoken word poetry. None.
Why do you hate spoken
None.
word? When you did poetry before, though, right?
Yeah, I'm not proud of it.
Why?
Rap is a superior art form. It's time we moved on.
No, but so many people don't have access to that skill that is rap.
So we supposed to play ping pong because you can't play tennis?
Why we can't play ping pong?
Why
can't both happen?
You can, but free me from it.
Yeah, you don't gotta listen to poetry, but I do think you're one of the best poets that I know.
I take that as disrespect.
I take your lyricism, like the lyrics, poet, and I frame them.
I don't write poetry.
You do, and you put music to it.
That makes it rap.
No.
It's now become a superior art form.
No. Why? Is that because more men rap?
I feel like this is what I think.
More cis men rap?
I feel like so many more cis men rap.
Is that why you think it's superior?
That is true. It's not why I think it's a superior art form, though.
Okay, say more.
I think
it's just
because it's probably an argument that more cis men do poetry.
Overall, no. If you look at percentage wise, when you look at rap, how many people make up, what are the demographics of the people who make up rap? And then what are the demographics of the people who make up poetry?
It's largely black men.
In poetry and rap?
In rap.
Okay, but in poetry.
But what I'm saying is, it's a lot of mediocre rap out there, but mediocre poetry makes me want to rip my ears off. There's
not rap that's I'm going to slide this.
Your favorite artist is 21 Savage.
Me.
Moving right along.
What's going on in the news?
What's going on in the news? So much is happening in the news, right? And some might say it's too much praying and not enough sliding. We may need to be called. We may need to be called in to slide more because, unfortunately, the militarization of our cities and the deployment and occupations of our cities is becoming more and more rampant. We're seeing and learning about more violence. I can't say that it's more violence than has been occurring, but we are learning about more atrocities.
And maybe it's increased in people though.
What do you mean?
Because the ICE budget, grew tremendously. The number of like, and they're actively recruiting white supremacists. I mean, folks knew police departments had white supremacists in it. Like, that's clear. It's like ICE is like, oh no, if you was at January 6th, just fill out the paperwork.
Yeah,
come join us. Yeah.
And I think there's something going on with the Coast Guard. I was at Academy Sports. If you know, you know. The person that was next to me was talking about just joining the Coast Guard, and they gave him a bonus to move out to California. Oh. And I'm like, I don't think there's a lot in the news cycle being talked about the recruiting efforts of the Coast Guard, but I think there's something happening there too.
Well, okay. So the increase in like state violence, right? We're seeing ICE killed Keith Porter Jr. in California, Renee Good in Minneapolis, arrested a 5-year-old little boy, like, with his backpack on. That is devastating. And again, like you said, this is the same state, like, not state as in like the state of Minnesota, but the same like entity in the state, the same policing force that killed Tamir Rice, right? And Aiyana Jones. And so, do you remember in 2020?
I'm sorry to cut you off. In 2020, the National Guard was side by side with the police, which was side by side with unbadged, unidentified people in bulletproof vests with AR-15s and all of that. And it's like, y'all are running the same play from 2020 with a bigger budget, with increased support from the feds. And it's like it's even more violent and aggressive, because they also doing this thing where it's like they created this concept where it's like, if you're standing here, it's a crime.
Yeah. And it's this interesting thing that we see. There's and I don't want to relieve the federal government or the DOJ from like actively carrying out like harm to our people. And I will name there were times during moments of Black history when like the DOJ or the National Guard were used to protect people who were protesting down in the South after it got so violent, or were like, okay, well, the education department, the reason why it's so deeply harmful that it's being like gutted is because there were supposed to be protections in place that gave students certain rights, right? And so it's just this thing where it's like, oh, of course Tennessee doesn't care about, of course the state of Tennessee is deeply divested from public education. We see that through vouchers, we see that through an increase in charter schools, and at the same time, not funding these schools, not funding traditional public schools, and not offering protections. Sometimes states like Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama don't offer as many like protections for students and their rights to IEPs, students who have disabilities, in the same way that the federal government recommends or regulates. And so just even that is something where I'm like, oh, those protections are wiped away. The way folks were getting their student loans were not enough, right? We need to just totally wipe out student loans.
Not for real.
But at the same time, folks were like, at one point last year, and they keep changing it, right? They were like, oh, all the folks who haven't been paying their student loans, we're going to take it from your check. They just went back and was like, nah, we're not going to do that. But just even that, where it's like, I don't know. I'm online in December, like, okay, I got to figure out how to, some people are online trying to figure out how they're going to get back to paying their student loans at the lowest amount. Yeah. And so just thinking about that as both the uncertainty, but also the complexity of what it means to be working class and Black.
Yeah, the education thing has really been on my mind because, MLK Day just passed. Shout out Martin Luther King. Shout out to the Mountaintop Summit, February 27th and 28th in Nashville, Tennessee at Fisk University.
Please come.
This past MLK Day weekend, we had the opportunity to talk to a group of brilliant students. I was blown away by young people because honestly, get me out of hell, I think
get us out.
Adults don't be having common sense. Like they don't be having like a connection to the world around them. And we can get into a deeper conversation as to why that is and how that's probably on purpose.
So many distractions, and so many things used to like alienate us and not see the humanity in another person.
But the these teenagers at at the MLK Day Youth Workshop. So the Southern Movement Committee did a workshop with about a group of, what would you say, 25?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Young people from Antioch High School, Overton, MLK, Pearl Cone, East, Valor. Is it called Valor?
I think so.
Yeah, I think Valor. And we were talking about safety, right? We were talking about the varsity spending plan in the Office of Youth Safety. And we were getting to this. We were in a circle, one. Yeah. I think that's important to say. I really appreciate
the circle, yeah.
When you talk to people in a circle, it's a way of
kind of flattening.
Yeah, in a way, there's a lot of different terms of this that exist on different scales. One is civic engineering, but one is also like architecture and design, and design thinking, systems thinking. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to be to level the playing field in a physical context? Yeah. Right. So now everybody's opinion is weighted equally. I'm not in the front and you're in the back. Mm-hmm. I'm not at the top and you're at the bottom. Now we're in a circle.
And it's humbling too. It's like, I get to listen to somebody else.
And there's somebody to the left of me and to the right of me and in front of me. Like and we're equal. It creates a physical space of equality. But that's another conversation. The interesting thing was that we asked them what makes them feel safe, right? And this is what's very informing about how we organize. A lot of times people think in the context that they've been told to think. Mm-hmm. So first they start off talking about, metal detectors. How can metal detectors be better? What their mind is saying is that there's something about these metal detectors that's just not working for me. Right. Right? But since the metal detectors are there.
How do I make them work?
Reform. Mm-hmm. It's like this ideology of reform.
Oh, uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What we are here to do as community organizers is to teach young people to be revolutionaries, right? To be radical and get to the root of the problem in the Ella Baker sense.
Yeah. Down here. All the way.
Right? You got to get down in them soil and them roots. Yeah. Once you tell them, hey, you are not in a box here. Because they're so used to being in the school. We're in a school. Yeah. And so for some of them, their school. For some of them, their classroom. Yeah. Right? And you have to color within the lines. When you liberate people to color outside of the lines, they come up with all of these brilliant strategies, brilliant tactics, brilliant ideas. And these young people were saying, one, the metal detectors don't work. Yeah. They're not keeping us safe. Yeah. Once you give them that freedom.
And the issue was like, it's picking up the wrong thing and not picking up the guns.
We got there's young people in there saying it's picking up my instrument and not picking up a firearm. Right. How does that make sense?
But what I think was so beautiful, because the students started, they facilitated it, but the thing that got folks to thinking was like, okay, so the metal detectors is trying to prevent people from bringing guns in. Why do young people have guns?
Exactly.
And then we got to get to the root.
Man, it was a young man in there, and he was like, there's a correlation between manhood and the gun that shouldn't exist. Trying to get somebody that's 55 years old to understand that.
To see that connection? Yeah.
Practically impossible. Yeah. Or maybe not impossible, but they feel like there is absolutely nothing we can do about that. Yeah. But lock people up. Put cameras on every corner.
And everybody get a gun.
And everybody get a gun.
That's the other thing, too. And he was like, no, what if there's another way for us to be together? Another way for us to keep, to cultivate safety? Because that's what it's like, there's something about keeping ourselves safe where it's like we want to protect ourselves, but also how do we cultivate and foster, safety? So there's, actually, I don't have to do so much protecting. I can actually just live in it.
You're right. And you know what that makes me think? We got to start a school.
I do agree with that.
We got to start a school.
I've been thinking about that.
Institutions is everything. Yeah. The reason why HBCU culture has been so sustained in this country for over 100 years is because they institutionalized a concept. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Dr. Umar, where's the school?
Where is it? We want to know. Well, do we want to know? Because we don't want to be learning homophobia and transphobia. So
we don't want to do that.
That's it. That's why.
If we really Pan-African, we don't want to do that. We don't.
Yeah, no. But I'm just thinking about institution building. I'm going to jump for a little bit. So if that's okay. Yeah. But the institution, the Free African Society that started in Philly, January 30th.
On this day in history?
Yes, this day in history. That's why I'm jumping around but we're talking about institution building.
January 28th?
28th, 28th. And so something that has existed for hundreds of years that is like started, one of the gave birth to African Methodism, and this body of this institution that has like consistently been like, how do we govern? How do we organize Black people around freedom? A part of the Free African Society was mutual aid collectives, and like, let us bring our money together to support each other. Mm-hmm. We saw that be something that even now, that tool that we need as we both survive this moment, but also like forge our way through something beyond this.
What do you say to people who the fear of mutual aid is like welfare, right? Like it's the same concept of like, if you give people free money, they're gonna exploit it.
This is so interesting because I think about tithes and offering, where it's like, you know, my tithes, they be going to like different places.
Like Christian Dior?
Well, no, let's get into this. We're gonna get into that, right? But first we're gonna get into the concept of like pulling our money together, be like, oh, okay, if all us put our money together, then we can get groceries for the homie down the street. But she put $10 in it too. And so now she finna get $50 worth of groceries because I also put $10 in. And next time I need groceries, or maybe I won't need groceries, I need you to babysit my kids. Mm-hmm. Like that is like service us being in community together. Yeah. It's actually like that we figure out what needs we have and how we can meet those needs together.
I sold a song for a tattoo one time.
Ooh, what tattoo?
It's on my stomach.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, but that was one time where somebody had hit me up. It's a long story. Long story short, I recorded something that's exclusive that somebody in this world owns in exchange because it was a really dope tattoo artist. And I was like, he was like, will you do this rap thing? Let me know. I was like, give me a tattoo. I got you. Like,
so how can he use the song?
Just wanted it. It was just like a piece of art. You know what I'm saying? It was like trading art really for cool. art. Okay. We were both two artists who respected each other's craft. So it was like, you give me a piece of your art, I gave you a piece of mine.
I have so many thoughts. My world on how I like engage with artists just kind of shifted.
Yeah, I think art is one of those things because what is the value of art?
Yeah.
Whatever your value of it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I have an orange bowl that has been in my family since before I was born.
Yeah.
Stole it from my mama's house. But I have pictures of being like 6 years old eating out of that bowl.
Aww.
And I still have that bowl, and that bowl has fed my family for generations.
Yeah.
And it was important to me I had to just take it because I was
no,
like, I don't know if y'all care about this bowl. I'm going to get it. But the value of art is oftentimes a way that we can access that idea of like, it's not about the money.
No.
It's about what do I care about? Mm-hmm. What is of value to me? It's not about what's in value to nobody. That bowl probably $3. That's probably a Dollar Tree bowl from 1996. I don't know. But
because they was making good, like it was made differently back then
back when you go to the dollar store and stock the whole house out of Dollar Tree. But and I don't know if we agree with Dollar Tree politically. I don't know where they at. But this is not a Dollar Tree ad.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is that art sometimes gives us access to like experimental ideas of exchange and trade. Mm-hmm. And when you see trade since the dawn of civilization, it's spices, it's textiles and fabrics and materials, and it's like, how much do you care about silk? These people over here may not have no care for silk in colder parts of the world, where it's like this doesn't know value. I care about fur.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like to you, fur in a tropical climate, not that valuable to me. But that's it's like, what is actually valuable to you?
And that's the thing. I just think that indigenous folks, Black people, queer people have like shown us what it looks like to be in community in that way, where it's like, maybe I don't actually like this church member, or maybe I don't like my neighbor, but I know she be watching everybody kids, and so because she do that, I'm gonna make sure she got flour, and I'm gonna make sure she need her car fixed, so she can go to the grocery store to make sure the kids got food to eat. I'm gonna go in on getting her car repaired. Like that is community. I think that too is also like mutual aid. It's like we're here together. It's not just me, Charity, like I'm gonna make sure you're good, you're gonna make sure I'm good too.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to derail your tithes point, but I want you to go back to it. If you said tithes and offering, it's a mutual aid concept.
Oh no, because it's like us putting all the money together and then being like, if it's done well, right? It's like we putting all the money together and making sure, one, we're caring for this thing that we all get to like come to.
We all get to enjoy
on a regular day. You know, hopefully you get to rent the church out for free because you pay. You know, as a part of it. And maybe you don't pay. You ain't got it, but you still get to rent it out because we went in on it. It's like the community center. Everybody
rent parties.
That's something. Yeah, and so that too. But yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Okay, fire.
Yeah. So, that's my news, and that's my this day in history. Shout out to the Free African Society. We are building institutions. I would be very curious about a school, y'all, but like not in a way that like. Actually, I'm gonna say this.
Okay, come on.
Okay.
You're free to color outside the lines.
Thank you. I know this is gonna feel interesting, but I am deeply invested in traditional public schools in the sense that I think they should be fully funded and have everything they need.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was a woman I was dating, and we had a whole beef about this. And she was like, you know, if you have kids, one, I'm like, yeah, I mean, if I have kids, if I don't, whatever. Mm-hmm. But because you know, get me out of hell. But
they won't act right, y'all.
But it was like, I'm like, no, if I ever have kids, I want my kids to go to a public school for some period of time.
Yeah.
Like for some period of time. If my kid is like some kind of prodigy pianist, then yeah, send them to Juilliard or send them to like wherever they can go and thrive in that specific thing that they care about. But you gotta go to a public school because public school is your first example of the real world. Mm-hmm. Like this whole thing around like, you know, vouchers and charters and private schools and all of this is like, bro, this is like how you become an elitist, like jerk. Like this is like, not to say that everybody that has that experience is that person, but public schools give you an example of what it means to be working class, what it means to be connected to the community that you live in. You know what I'm saying? What it means to have the concerns and the values and the culture and the tradition of the environment that you're from. And I think that's important.
And I'll say that the reason why I fight so hard for like public schools is because one, I know that they're extremely underfunded, and we experience that, right? Folks, you know, experience the textbooks that are outdated. They experience in the schools with a lot more students than there are like teachers or counselors there to support them. Like that is also very, very true. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how do we flood our public schools with the money and resources they need to succeed and ensure that like we have the leadership, the teachers who can actually like, you know, cultivate and cultivate and steward an environment where our young people can thrive. The other thing I'll say is why I don't say, I think it's important. I'm invested in traditional public schools, but that means I have to organize for the public schools that I want.
Absolutely.
Right? For the curriculum, our students are like, oh, we haven't learned about Emmett Till. We're not learning as much about Black history. I remember 7th grade, as a part of our 7th grade final exam, we had to learn Langston Hughes' poem. We had to all get up and recite the Black national anthem, like everybody.
All verses?
Yes, as a part of.
What school?
It was Wharton. It was 7th grade.
At Wharton?
Miss Jarrett, yes.
Ooh.
Yes,
shout out Ms.
the whole class, no, for real. So I've known it since the 7th grade, but that was a part, and that was the language teacher. That wasn't even a history teacher. And so I don't know if students still have access to those type of things, but in a public school that I was able to, that I would have been able to, that I want to organize for and build, has a person like Ms. Jarrett who's been a teacher her whole life. It's like, this is my life's work. I'm invested in them. They say that students who... They say this, the safer schools are the schools with the most culture. I had like anti-bias week in our school where we sat for a week every year and be like, how do we?
Did Anthony Lee draws anti-bias week?
Anthony led because the students facilitated it. So he led the students in facilitating it. And since they got trained so that they could come back and be facilitators. So it was
like this, was it like the seniors or what?
Nah, I don't think I think you went to a camp and then you studied and then you came back but I'm like, I want to be a part of building those things where it's like restorative justice and practices have all the investments that they need. And yeah,
I'm just wondering what would that look like for us to be like, yo, let's get just like a group of like 20 students to go do a camp for like, 3-4 days to learn this thing and then come back and teach it to your whole school. Yeah. And get students from every public school in Metro.
I love that. I think we might have an office that can think about that.
We may have to. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't want to get too much juice.
No, my bad. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. But the other thing I just need to add is that, in my dream, in the world that I'm want to organize with y'all for, is like where also students aren't criminalized at schools, where it's like, and students aren't adultified, and students aren't like policed because of what they wear, or what they how their hair is worn, but like just truly get to exist in like what the freedom of like trying to figure out who they are while learning and existing in a like thriving and safe environment with really great food, because they always upset about the food.
What you think about magnet schools though?
I went to East Literature Magnet High School.
Okay.
Wharton was a music arts magnet school. It was a middle school. It doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
But I think that the only issue I have with magnet schools is that sometimes you can see that the way that some of the regulations surrounding that, the way they are, the impact could be around like racial lines, where it's like, oh, I mean, it was true for us. Not as many black students with the Hume Fog or MLK. Like, right. There were a few barriers to get into that. And so just thinking about how do we knock down those barriers. So if you a STEM person and maybe you like, nah, I ain't got no 3.5 GPA, but I know I want to be an engineer, you can still go to the engineering magnet school. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, because I don't want people to be cut off from like their choice because they are struggling. So that's my thing. Because a lot of times, or they don't know the right person.
Yeah. A lot of times I feel like we talk about like our years where we're like our identity is developed. And I think you talked about Wharton. I went to Meg's, which was an academic magnet. Yeah. And I remember how few black people was in my school. Yeah. Particularly because there was like in my class, there was like a small group. It was probably maybe 20 black people or like maybe 30. Yeah. But in my class, honestly, I feel like 30 is generous, but I feel like it was like 20 black people. So it's like, and it was pretty close, maybe 10 and 10 boys to girls type vibe. Mm-hmm. And I remember experiences at Meg's that was like, this is my little group. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't remember feeling all that much accepted by that little group. Yeah. For various reasons, for like maybe they live on a different side of town, or because the magnet thing is like people is coming from all over the place.
That's why we rode the city bus.
Exactly, we rode MTA. Yeah. So it was and we can cut this out if this goes derail. But one of my experiences that I remember vividly at Meg's is there not being a lot of black girls there. Oh. So if you wanted to have a girlfriend,
you didn't really have a lot of choices.
You didn't have a lot of choices. And I was like, I'm going to choose a black girl. That was just me. I was like, it's got to be one of y'all 10. And I don't like them 6. So I got 4 to pick from.
And then only 2 like you.
And only 2 like me back.
Look, so.
Really 1, for real.
So you got your 1.
So I had my little one for about a week or 2. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget her. No, I remember her name.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Her name was Lauren. I was like, I probably never spoke to her. I was like, somehow we ended up being.
Oh yeah, because people used to make y'all be boyfriend and girlfriend. They'd be like, oh no, that's your boyfriend now. Together.
And on top of that,
they never gave me a girlfriend.
One experience that probably, now that I'm thinking about this in hindsight, one experience that made me comfortable with being like, oh no, black queer feminism is the play. Like that's the ideology we need to hold. There was another girl there. She had very few people to pick from, and I was one of the people that didn't want her. So she spread a rumor through the school that I was gay, right? Or at least through the 20 of us that
cared, that was in the circle.
She spread a rumor, right? And at that age, all of your stuff, your puberty, all of your stuff is forming. And I'm like, she's making me question my identity. I didn't know I was gay. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm gay. I'm like, I don't.
And then you had to go repent and born again. See,
look,
the trauma.
Let's talk about the trauma being compound. And she's cool. I remember her name too. But I got no beef for her. I'll be seeing her around the city and stuff like that. But it's all good. We was kids. But that was one of the things that shaped like early in. So by the time I went to high school, I was like, I already had to grapple with like my sexual identity because people is putting a label on me that I don't relate to. Yeah. And then on top of that, we talking about.
And they making it seem like it's a horrible thing to
exactly.
be gay.
It's like on top of that, they stigmatizing it. And I'm like, I don't even feel like I don't really have the tools to articulate all of the nuance and all of the different things that I was experiencing. But it's like, I'm not trying to be like no, I could never be. It's like, I don't want to be that nigga.
Yeah, you're just like, nah, I don't.
I'm just like, I don't like boys. I don't know what to. Respectfully, I don't know if that's wrong to say. I don't know if, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't feel that way. And it feels a certain level of rejection when, like, your small group of black people is creating something to separate you from that group. Because of their own insecurities and probably her own trauma and, like, her stuff for me.
She just was like, "Dang, you rejected me. It got to be a reason why." Maybe it's not.
Another conversation. Because there's some adults, get me out of hell, they're still doing that to this day.
Free Mike, y'all.
Yeah. But, yeah, free me. Sorry, that was deeply personal.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what's your, back to you. What's your This Day in History?
Oh, This Day in History. I'm glad you said that. January 28th. And on here before, we talked about Wale, right? If you're a black woman that went to college, you probably like Wale.
Like, I like a few songs, yeah.
Yeah, but there's something about Wale that's, like, resonates with y'all.
No Hands, yeah.
See, there it is. Well,
that's him, ain't it?
that is him, but it's just a crazy thing to throw out on the mic. But what I will say is this.
Okay.
Do you know what that song? I don't know if you realize. We all had different college years.
I was just singing the song.
Your college years are your college years. I don't judge.
I was just singing the song. My
We're
bad.
Black queer feminists.
Yeah,
okay?
just jam out, y'all.
Pleasure activism.
Maybe what's the other song? Lotus Flower Bomb.
Again.
Okay, damn. I can't win. I can't do it. Okay. What's the other one where you don't want to get married? Thank you.
Okay. It's okay.
And Usher.
It's okay.
Wait for You. There you go. Wait for You with Future and Usher. That's Wale.
That wasn't one of my joints.
But it came out later. But it came out for the people, the millennials who get me out of hell, who are in their late 30s. It won't commit. I can't even think about commitment. Okay, friend. That's Wale.
What you say about the men that won't commit?
I didn't say nothing about them. Because I don't know.
Say it.
That's really not my life.
Oh, my God.
That's not really my... Look,
another time.
Look.
All right, January 28th, J. Cole's birthday.
Oh.
An interesting thing is my curiosity is around... One, J. Cole has a new album coming out called The Fall Off.
Yeah.
You know, he put out a single. It's kind of like, if anybody knows Nas Rewind, it's like a modern day version of like making a song where you tell the story from the end and then go to the beginning. So, it was dope. Yeah. Like J. Cole is, I think, one of the greats of this era. And I also recognize that black women don't seem to have the same experience with J. Cole like they have like a Wale.
When I was dating this guy, he loved J. Cole. That's when I listened to J. Cole, and I was like, oh, I see it. But just by myself, I'm not listening to J. Cole or Pusha T.
Why is that? That's my question.
I'm not. I'd rather read. That's what I'm saying.
T?
No.
You put Pusha T in that conversation?
The people who just be saying a lot? Yeah. I'd rather read it. Let me see the lyrics so I can read it.
The poetry.
Because you asking for a lot of my attention span. I got to follow the words and listen to the music.
You say you never follow a man.
Yeah. What I look like, okay?
This nigga think I'm finna follow him.
Who do you lead? Head of what?
But yeah, it was interesting because what you were talking about was schools in the African tradition and all of these things, and I was like, oh, this is the same birthday as like this person that's very relevant to African culture and like college crowd. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that was an interesting like through line for me. Okay,
because J. Cole's first album came out with I feel like it was Wale and J. Cole was contemporaries.
It wasn't really the albums that really made him pop. Like if people remember, it was the mixtapes. Like the mixtapes came first. It was the one with the basketball. I'm trying to remember the name. Friday Night Lights was the one after that, though. Like, there was one before. Yeah, there was one before that. And I forget it. But that was the one that made me be like, okay. I think it had, like, Young Simba on it. It had a few different songs on it. That was back in the DD-172 era when Dame Dash had the studio on Tribeca. My homeboy was an intern for Dame Dash. I seen Dame Dash cut somebody out in the street in Tribeca. But it was just, like, this whole it was like this whole thing that was happening at that time. And for folks that was like in the hip hop culture in that era, you remember those moments because that was when like we saw a Jay Electronica next to an Erykah Badu, next to Currency, next to Ski Beats, next to, you know, J. Cole, next to like all of that, all of these things were kind of swirling around each other.
I'm going to say this. So this is a hot take.
Go ahead.
For me. One thing I don't miss about having a man is having to listen to all those people in the car. Like,
so what I'm doing, I should stop.
No, keep going.
One thing I don't miss about a man is niggas like you.
That ain't what I said. I just went back to be like, you know, you in the car and you trying to be cool because, you know, you like, nah.
You trying to act like you like it.
Yeah, you got to.
Why y'all don't just say cut it off?
Because then I put on, you know, my music. It
what
depends.
You be putting on? So when you cut that J. Cole, off, what you putting on?
Yeah.
Who was the women in that era that was making music that you feel like was really like grabbing people?
Of course, Beyonce. You know, sorry, I know it's Beyonce.
Like, was there anything else?
One of the guys I dated did put me on the Erykah Badu, which is why I should have been on. My name's Erica, but that was one of the songs we could listen to together. Where
man put you on Erykah Badu?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I followed one's time. Dang, I'm sorry. I was into, you know, I'm a poppy.
Never be me.
What you mean? Thank you to the man who put me. He's you know, he be in the music stuff.
He didn't wear deodorant?
Nah, he was on me. Cause I took it too far. This when I was 20s, yeah. He was like, you with the Erykah Badu doing all, but you gotta wear some deodorant.
Niggas think they can't wear deodorant.
I think a coconut oil gonna work.
Hey, look, 2026, abolish being musty. All right. We tired of it, bro. We tired of having to find a way to tell you that your arms stink. We tired of telling you to brush your teeth. We tired of, stop. But also, hygiene, all 2026.
If people be going through it though, that's why. Well, when I wasn't wearing it, I just really was experimenting with coconut oil. No, I thought coconut oil was gonna do it.
It was vibey.
I got lost in the sauce.
Literally.
Incense, Erykah Badu, you know, Woody Woo, the natural hair movement had taken over. I was in my natural bag.
Look.
In law school, so well.
Now look at you wearing deodorant. Drinking water. You know, yeah.
I was drinking water.
Oh, you was?
No, you know, I always be drinking water. But I was saying, you know, some people, people be going through. So it's like, how do we support you? Mm-hmm. You know, and I think is another question that feels helpful when folks are like, because that can be a sign of like, you know, depression and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about having community circles. Like we have the men's circle because people be going through stuff and don't be saying nothing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you ever had a friend that be going through stuff and you find out after the fact?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's a man thing.
Well, no, I think people do that. I just haven't had.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just be like, bro, why you didn't just tell me? Like, I would have held you down. Like, I would have.
What they say as to why?
They didn't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how. That's why I'm like, I would be like, or I'll drop hints and people won't pick up on it.
Yeah.
Not hints, but I'll be like seeing if maybe there's gonna be some care, and then it'll be like, yeah, Erica, so if you can look at that for me and then give me that, you know.
Proofread this real quick.
Right.
You don't need lawyers.
No, literally. I'd be like, dang, what about my humanity?
But how good is your hints, though?
You know what? That's why we got circles in therapy.
In trainings and workshops. And one place that I'm really excited about, being able to skill people up, being able to give people the tools that they need to survive in this time, is that we're doing our Mountaintop Summit at Fisk University, February 27th and 28th. It's absolutely free. oursmc.org. You can sign up, RSVP. And we're having so much that's going to be beneficial to community members that is ready to fight back.
Yeah.
Like, or maybe you don't feel like you're ready to fight back, but you want to get ready.
You want to skill up. You're like, what can I do right now?
Mm-hmm.
How do we like both organize our way into a different place, something beyond this, and what are we building? Yeah. And can I want to increase my ability to build something different, to build a multiracial democracy that honors all of our humanity, to like increase our capacity to like govern and make collective decision making. If you like, yo, I I know it's elections coming up. I'm curious on, I play and role in that, but I know that might not be enough. What else can I do? This is the place for you. That's the place for you. If you like, hey, I wanna be with people who are like, we gotta build something totally different than this system that we have. Whether it was gonna be Biden or Trump, we knew we had to build something different. If that's you, then this is the place for you. Or if you like, look, I'm trying to figure out what we finna do with these midterms, how we gonna get Trump out of office. This is the place for you too.
Look,
all of that, like, we gotta be in conversation. We gotta skill build and talk about, like, how do we use people moving assemblies? What does co-governance mean for us? How do we say, hey, create a campaign demand, win it, implement it, and then hold institutions accountable to carrying that out? Because that's gonna be necessary no matter what.
What does it mean to protect Black bodies in a hyper-violent time in real time?
Yeah.
Like, we're doing a Stop the Bleed training where you teach how to, where we're going to teach people how to treat gunshot wounds, how to treat things that can happen on the street.
Just anytime,
At any given point in time. And, sometimes ambulances take a long time to get there. Sometimes the hospital is very far away because we know what they're doing to cut in the funding for hospitals and especially in the rural areas. So I think that training is really, really important to get you some skills around that as well.
And then the culture stuff, because like you started the conversation out talking about just like the art being able to help us stretch our thinking and just help us see each other and being like knowing our worth. So like we got culture stuff too, right?
Yeah. I think we have art, we have a concert, we have art integrated throughout the entire summit, but also we're having a screening of our documentary, the first public screening that we're going to have for the documentary.
I'm so excited.
On February 27th, and it'll be at Fisk University. And I think folks will be able to understand this work in a different way. I think I'm really grateful to be able to have a platform like this where we can invite people into like real world, put your hands in the soil to be involved and not just have to see the clips online. You can actually go somewhere to engage. And I think that makes what we do particularly unique up here. But I think that documentary also shows people the journey to get to that point. It shows people the faces, the community members, the ideas, the thoughts, the consistency, like the stick-to-itiveness, as my mama would call it, that it takes to make something like this happen in a relationship.
Because that's what we're going to be doing too together, building relationships too. So I appreciate you bringing the culture, the relationships, the skill building together. So meet us on the mountaintop.
It's the Mountaintop Summit, y'all.
Look, February 27th and 28th. And look, we out.
We work together.
We win together.
We win together.
We change the world.
Peace, y'all.